Hello and welcome to the Insane Gorillas podcast, where we talk about a different movie each week. This week we're going into the horror movie area, horror movie genre of film, and we're going to be covering this series called Maniac Cop over the next few weeks. Um, Now it's from the '80s, so it's got a lot of those '80s tropes. But
Yep.
before we get into it, let's first do like a spoiler warning. We're going to be doing this over the next couple of weeks, so if you want to watch all of them, they're on Shutter. We're not
Yep.
sponsored, so we don't have any codes or anything for you. But they're all on Shutter for you to watch there. It might be on Netflix. But go ahead and watch those so that you're able to listen live if we do a live podcast. So
Mm.
let's go ahead and get into it, shall we?
Yep.
So,
Uh, y- Go
so,
ahead.
so this film is very. It's sort of more like an action horror movie.
Yeah,
It's
immediately noticed that.
Yeah, it's got a lot of car chases. It's got a lot of those
Oh.
action scenes and stuff that are just straight out of the
Mm.
'80s. And that kind of threw me off because I was expecting more like a horror movie, but it's more
Yeah.
like the gore is what they consider horror.
Hmm.
But what are your thoughts on it?
I gotta say, when I was going into it, I'm just like, I only saw like 2 or 3 minutes of it while I was on another vacation. I was sitting there, just like, man, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that someday. And then when I saw it was on Shudder, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I gotta watch it now. And so going into it, I was sitting there like, okay, it's on Shudder, so it's probably a horror movie and whatever. And then, you know, um. Yeah, like you said, it's more of a horror action type deal going on, right?
Yeah,
Um, but what I found really funny about it was the pacing of it, which is just click click click, just super fast.
yeah. There's a lot of areas that they could have slowed down at, like especially
Mm.
they should have slowed
What do
down
you?
with giving the exposition of the of the
Oh yeah, the
the
yeah that was
maniac cop, because
I
they
was
straight
literally
out,
just about to ask that.
okay, this is who this person is, this is him, let's go get him. That's basically
Yeah,
what they do. They don't they don't really show you much about his backstory except like a really quick like what is it, like a let's go back to the past and show you what's going on, what
yeah,
actually happened while he tells this story. And I think that whole like them talking
yeah. That
about him is lasts like
yeah
4 minutes. It's like
that
really short.
I'm not a huge fan about because there are movies that literally just do that, especially the older ones. They just like, okay, let's get right into it. Because I here's like the whole thing about that is that that's right around where Michael Myers, Halloween and Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, where the slashers, they're doing very successful, and they're sitting there, and I think this is just director is just like, man, you know what? I kind of want to do like I want to do a slasher movie and get like behind the just that wave that's coming through. They just
Hmm.
want to be successful, and apparently they were successful enough to get a second and third one out,
Well,
but
they set that up. They set it up so
they did. Did you like that freeze frame at the end there? That was
I did not like
the
it.
night.
They tried to go for like a Friday the 13th.
Yeah, no,
Him
I'm
coming
sitting
out of
there.
the water.
Yeah, they have him coming out of the water, and then they have the Michael Myers vibe where he's just standing there. I'm sitting there, I'm just like just watching this. I'm like, yeah, this guy definitely hopped in behind the whole trend of slash movies coming through, and he just wanted like I want to be successful. He really also like followed that trend because like say like the original Michael Myers, right, like Halloween, like the first one, right,
Hmm.
the not the new one, but the first one where you're in like this kid's POV and he just murders. Like, if you've never heard of Michael Myers, you're probably sitting there asking yourself, okay, what the fuck did I just watch? Because like that there was no exposition there. It's just literally him, killing his sister, right?
Yeah.
So they took inspiration from that and just pretty much did the exact same thing, right? And you know, I'm not a big fan of like uh, explain the story later, get exposition later, right? I want it at the beginning, but this one it wasn't like terrible, right?
Well, I've been
But
thinking
I
about that a lot recently. I
hmm
I don't like it in American films that much,
hmm
because they usually just tell you later, like straight up. But I really like it in anime because they give
hmm
you little hints. They show you this character and what he can do, and then they'll be like, "Oh, here's how he knows how to do this and whatnot."
So
Later.
Matt, in this movie, that is a horror slash action movie. I know this question is gonna be really fucking confusing, but what was your like? What do you think was the most like funniest line delivered in that movie?
Hmm. I think all of the all, pretty much every scene where it's a cop talking to the commissioner is
hmm
like, because the commissioner is clearly like insanely stupid in this.
Right. hmm
It's just mind-boggling. It's just
My
every line out of his mouth is just insanity. It makes no sense why a police officer, especially a commissioner, would do anything like that.
my favorite part was when Bruce Campbell was leaving that police station where all the policemen were dead, right?
Hmm.
And he's like and he got a hold of that gun, and he's leaving the police station. There's like other officers. He's like, "Drop your guns, don't!" And he's like, "Don't shoot." And he's like, "I know what it looks like. I didn't do it." And then he runs away, and then the two officers are like laying on the ground, and then like
I'm not
the one
gonna go
officer's
after
like.
him.
The one officer's like is like just like, do we go after him? He's like, yeah, heard him. He said he didn't do it.
Yeah,
I was just like, okay, come on, man.
that's one thing that really caught me off guard was that Bruce Campbell was in this because I didn't know that, and when I saw his
hmm
name, I was just like, okay, this has to be a pretty good movie. It's
hmm
got Bruce Campbell, the king of horror, basically in my book.
Yeah, right. I'm sure Bruce Campbell, when he's talking about this movie, he just doesn't want to talk
I think
about
he
it at
puts
all.
this above Evil Dead. I think all the Evil Dead's Army of Darkness, he puts Maniac Cop
Mm,
right above it.
yeah, I'm not so sure about that one, but we can say that for right now. If Bruce Campbell would like to come on here and fucking talk about it, he can.
Yeah. What is it? There's, what was your favorite kill in this movie?
Oh, my favorite kill in this movie?
Yeah. It's hard to pick.
Oh,
It's hard to
oh
pick.
no, oh no, 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 no. There was that one where that lady got pulled over by the cop, and she
Hmm.
was like, and she thought because all the recent reports and stuff about like Maniac Cop and everybody's afraid. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Boom.
lady's like, yeah, the lady's like, you're not gonna get me. Just shoots him right through the head. I'm like, bro.
Well, it did a really good setup though. It created suspense, and like he put on his gloves and was making sure that they were on, and it made it look like he was. But
Mm,
Maniac Cop doesn't do his stuff during the daytime like that.
yeah,
He
right.
doesn't
Yeah.
really do it unless he goes storms the police station somehow by himself. And still, they
Yeah.
never went on to talk about how he was able to survive all of that,
Yeah, I know.
survive everything. It's just a plot hole. It's like, is he a zombie? Is he undead? No, no, he's a human somehow, and somehow he's able to get stabbed
Yeah,
27 times in prison and still
yeah.
live. And
The
then,
people I was watching it with last night, they were like, "Is he a zombie? Is he a ghost?
is he even real?
Zombie cop?"
He's a ghost.
Don't worry. In the third movie, it will be confirmed whether or not he's a zombie cop
I have to wait till the third movie to find that out.
to
It
find
should
out.
be
Yeah.
discussed in the like the first movie or like
Mm,
the second movie. It's not Friday the 13th does it like, okay, first movie is all his mom actually, and then
mm,
it's not spoilers because you should see Friday the 13th already.
right. Yeah.
So and then you have the second one, and then you find out Jason is alive and he's like a zombie.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, this movie really plays out more like an action movie with like
it really
little
does.
parts of horror. So I think I counted three like 12-minute car chase scenes in this because you
Yeah,
got
honestly, I think that's right.
because I think the ending has a car chase scene, in the middle there's a car chase scene, and I think in the beginning, and also a thing in the beginning is how it starts off is a little cliche, and I don't think it
Mm.
would be really accepted today because uh, she gets mugged by two African American kids, and then
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, this would not play out this way. It'd be like a one white man, one one African American so that you could add that, and then it's just the white guy's just sitting there like, ah, happens all the time.
Right.
It was just it
Yeah,
it definitely suffers from
I was. Yeah,
that.
watching this movie, you could definitely feel that it was definitely from the '80s, because just the way that it is, the writing, the dialogue, the set design, the film grain on the camera. It was just oh man, just watching this movie just puts me back when I was younger watching Halloween for the first time.
Yeah, it does remind me of a
Halloween was
lot of
good.
those. It does remind me of a lot of those '80s horror movies. So, but
Hmm.
it just doesn't play out like a horror movie.
Mm.
It plays
Oh, it
out.
was also that so I don't know who the director's like film crew was, but oh my god, all those shots, they were like when Maniac Cop was storming the police base or whatever, right? He kills the guard that like handcuffed the girl. I can't remember her name, but she's like
I have a
an important
list.
character. Yeah,
It's Teresa
yeah,
Maldo
that's
or
right.
something.
Yeah, Mallory, I think.
Mallory. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Teresa Mallory. Uh, and so he kills the guard that like hand or not the guard, but like the policeman that handcuffed, that's like handcuffed to her, and then she's dragging his body, and then she's trying to get through the door, and then it's just the next shot that you get is just a quick cutaway to a shot of like the body on the other side. It's just getting pushed from the other side. I'm just like,
That's some
it just
really poor cinematography right there.
yeah, the cinematography of this movie is just a little spotty, but
Yeah, it makes it seem a little cheap, but there was one scene like at the beginning where it's really weird. Like
hmm
something's hanging down from the ceiling, and
hmm
they like get it all the way in frame, like this thing hanging from the ceiling. I forget what it was, but it was like all you could see was this this thing, and it was really blurry and crap,
mm
and it confused the heck out of me. Like, what is that supposed to be? Um,
mm.
I do. The police
I,
station scene takes up a lot of time in this movie. So,
I don't know if you saw, but there is when we get more backstory about the Maniac Cop himself. His name's like
Matt Cordell.
Matt Cordell. Yeah. Uh, when he's like in the prison showers, and he knocks like one of the bad guys into the wall. You can see the set piece actually move,
It's sort of
and and unfortunately there's more of that in the entire movie, and I just can't remember the other parts right now. But I remember seeing just the wall move.
well, it's
I'm not gonna tell
what
Matt
is it?
that yet.
It's similar to the Mission Impossible scene.
You're good.
I think it's the newest one, the Rogue. I think, or
Oh
is it Rogue
really?
Nation? There's a scene where Henry Cavill fights like a group of people and Tom Cruise in a bathroom, and you can clearly see that the what they do is they basically put foam on everything and make everything out of foam. So
Oh
like they
yeah.
can bounce and throw people on the floor without injuring them. But you can clearly see Tom Cruise or like Henry Cavill standing on one of these pieces of foam and he's
Mm.
sinking into the floor.
Oh
So
no.
you can see the foam bend underneath him. But it's an honest mistake,
Right.
but I know
Hey
they
guys, this is a
don't
good
want to build
idea.
a set after that. You don't want to rebuild a foam set for
Oh yeah, for
an
sure.
action scene. So, yeah. What was it? That the police station scene takes up a large chunk of this movie,
Yeah.
and the acting is. The other cops are really bad. Bruce Campbell's really
Oh
good.
yeah, Bruce Campbell's really good. Mallory was really good. The detective that was with them, he was putting in effort. He was really good. And
Frank
then just a
McRae.
lot of the side characters. Oh man, good thing Maniac. Okay, good thing Maniac Cop didn't talk. I don't. He the only thing he did was like scream at the end, and that scream was just off. I have no idea what about it. Just his scream just doesn't fit like just his look.
Yeah. What was it? There was another. Throughout the entire movie, it tries to. For some reason, I was so like really just pissed off about Jack Forrester, Bruce Campbell's character, because at the beginning he is the one cheating and having an affair, and his wife
Oh
is
my
the one
God!
that dies. And I'm so
Don't
mind bog.
don't talk
It's
about
just
the
so
don't talk about the affair scene.
it's just so annoying.
Don't
It's
talk about
like
the affair scene. Bruce Campbell, like I know he gave an effort and stuff, but when he read his lines there or whatever, when he rehearsed them and stuff, just the lines that he delivered, which it's obviously comes down to the director. He's like he's got the final word. He's like, no, I want these in here. Just what he said. He's like, Carter. Do you remember what Bruce Campbell said? The affair. Yeah. Yeah, he was like, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know how. Just those lines that he delivered, uh, just I know it comes down to the director, but come on, man.
well, also another thing that's funny about it is it makes you hate him for the rest of the movie. I didn't because he's the one doing all the
I,
bad stuff, and his wife is the one that ends up dying.
it's good.
The ones that did the wrong are the ones ending up surviving, and you don't usually see that in horror movies. You see the
Hmm.
people who
Yeah,
have the affair and stuff; they end up dying, and then you get the final
right,
girl. But this one,
right.
it's topsy turvy. It's the
Mm,
opposite. It's not. It doesn't play out the way you expect.
yeah.
But I get it. It makes it different, but it doesn't
Hmm.
play out like a usual horror movie.
Hmm. Yeah, no, just I don't really have a lot to say about this movie. It came out in the 1980s. They were trying to get behind that whole slasher trend that was coming through, and all these comedies are getting real successful, and they're releasing all their part twos. And I'm sure they were like, man, we got to do that. And then they did it. I've seen all three now. Not unfortunately. It was okay. It was good. Like you're gonna enjoy these next two that you're gonna watch. But the yeah, watching the first one, I can't, I can't put it in the dirt because of all the stuff that like they can't control, right? With the equipment that they had, effects
Hmm.
that they had back then, right? Pretty much everything there is like practical. Like I like the pier jump off scene. Besides the guy screaming, but that's all practical. They couldn't have CGI'd that, right?
Yeah. What was
they
it?
they they didn't have the the CGI, the technology back there to render all that in and then just fucking send it off the edge. They had to send that fucker into the ocean.
Yeah. What was it? The scene where they first reveal Matt Cordell, the or Maniac Cop.
Hmm.
What he he grits his teeth, and
Yeah.
it keeps going
Oh
back to him
man.
doing that over and over again, and it's just
Yeah. No, that's something that I noticed about them doing these scenes or whatever with they do a lot of extra filming because they're trying to make the film mark, and this movie's only 85 minutes long, so 5 minutes less
mhm.
than a usual movie, right? But I would say you're average, but if the like the smaller movies are definitely an hour and 30 minutes long, right? But the there was a scene with the guy with the I think like aviators or whatever, and he's like talking to Bruce Campbell, and he takes him off, says something, and the camera cuts back to him, and he puts him back on, and I was like, yeah, the police chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was sitting there, I'm just like, okay, what the fuck.
The budget for this movie must have been really small, or like
Hmm.
either it must have been really small, or just they had way too much money. Because that's
Hmm.
usually even when
Usually
a
what happens,
even when a movie has all this money to spend, they'll spend it on stupid stuff, or
right?
or they'll have a really small budget, and then they'll try to make this film look a little more mature, or make
Yeah.
it look a little better built. This movie is, I'd say it seems like how a film student who had experience, he has like some sort of experience, and he gets to be the director all of a sudden, and now he has to make a film and put this together. Now
Hmm.
he's not writing the film; he just accepted this film from a movie
Right.
company, and he got all this money to make it. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna add so many stunts. He's gonna flip cars. He's gonna Michael Bay it basically without the
Mm.
explosions.
I will say I do appreciate the action horror movie because I haven't seen a lot like that yet. And honestly, it's usually what you see is a horror movie and slowly the protagonist strength or whatever, or they figure out some way to put him down, and then turns a little bit heroic. The underdog, just coming out and just taking out the
Hmm.
the bad guy, right, or the boogeyman, or whatever the situation is. And this one, there's just action continuously throughout it.
They do a good job though at like making the characters memorable.
Yeah.
So for Maniac Cop, usually for a slasher, you want them to have like some specific look they're going for,
Mhm.
and then also
Oh
some
yeah,
specific tool that they use. So he has like that
yeah,
baton, or
with
basically
knife hidden in
with
it.
the knife hidden in
Yeah.
it. So it's kind of memorable, but it's still just basically a knife with a
Oh,
sheath that looks like a
right,
stick.
right. Michael Myers, right? No, I do appreciate the originality of this movie though, because they're like okay, slasher trend. They already got like they pretty much just get like psychologically messed with like people, and in the beginning you don't really learn that, and you learn it a little more towards the middle of the movie, right? That he wasn't really psychologically tormented. It was more so that it
It's a
became the
revenge.
yeah, because the court system, uh, quote unquote, did him wrong. I'm not a whole, I don't think a cop should be out there that they gotta have a trigger finger, right? That is looked
But it
down
does
upon, especially today.
what it does well compared to some of the other stuff we've watched in the past is it doesn't go all in for the social change. So
Right.
it
Yeah.
focuses on the
Exactly.
story, but has it still gives you like okay, so the police
Mhm.
they have too many they have too many problems like with like killing and stuff, and it
Yeah.
does it through showing you a good story, which
Right.
it's not blind, it's not like basically throwing it in your face like we've had with other movies in the past, but it like hints at it, but also throws it in your face at the same time. But it's enough for you to actually be able to accept it. So
Yeah. No, I gotta say, with the whole, I'm pretty sure this was around this like slasher trend where there's like, oh, people love this stuff. I can definitely appreciate the originality of it all
mhm.
because they had to come up with that concept of maniac cop. The court system did him wrong. That sounds something like that would happen, right? And then came back for revenge. I don't know how he has that superhuman strength, but
Yeah, we'll find out though. Maybe
right,
we'll find out.
maybe
Uh,
we will.
so I don't know. There's a lot of I there's so much content in this film, but I think the best way for anyone to discuss it is really just to see it and talk to your friends about it because
Yeah,
there's
for
just
sure.
so much in it. Like
Hmm.
the action scenes don't they feel out of place, but at the same time they feel like they fit.
Hmm.
It's just confusing. Another thing is what is it when at the end I'm just thinking about this now is they lock Bruce Campbell's character in the back of that prison truck.
Hmm.
And you know what happens when they crash into the water?
Hmm.
He somehow swims out of it.
He
Did he
so
did he break out? I'm trying to
yeah,
remember it.
he broke out, and then he was like on the side of the truck the whole time,
Oh,
like
yeah,
he
I remember
beating
that
him
now.
up. Yep,
So,
yeah.
let me tell you about my movie watching experience for this. I was watching this in a car on my phone
Hmm.
on the way home from a camping trip, and it
Hmm.
was lagging. It was lagging
Hmm.
every 5 minutes or so. So, so, so I might not be
Right,
remembering
trying
it
to.
completely well.
No,
Well,
I
so
got you. Trying to keep it all there, and trying to figure it
yeah.
out. Yeah, I got you.
But overall, I think it's a really good movie. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
no, for
movie. It's
sure.
a fun movie.
Yeah, I would definitely say fun. I'm glad that they they really were sitting there like, yeah, we can do this. We got all wrote down. I think some of the characters could have been just a little bit better, but the whole thing it's really good. I can actually appreciate like this slasher film trying to go along with the slasher trend.
Yeah. I think
Really
it's a
nice.
fun movie. It's a fun slasher. So I think we've talked about really what we want to.
Yep, for sure.
But before we do that, let's go ahead and recommend this. We recommend you watch this movie and review it for yourself because movies are subjective. Only you
Yep,
can
correct.
truly review a movie for yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and review the movie from our point of view, but you should review it from your point of view. So do you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. We're rating the movie, right?
Yep.
Or rating? Yeah. So my rating for this movie, Maniac Cop, is probably going to be probably an 8 out of 10, just because I'm not gonna diss the movie because of the characters and the voice delivery lines of some of the characters, right? And the lines that were written for characters that just don't sound that good because it was the 1980s, so those lines now sound a little dated. But I'm not gonna. That's pretty much the only place that I'm really docking, if I had to say like points.
Uh,
So definitely 8 out of 10,
yeah.
solid 8.
Well, you seem pretty high on this one, so I
Yeah,
wonder
no,
what your review
well,
of I wonder what your review is going to be for the other ones because
oh man, you don't want to know.
we'll see. Uh, so I'm going to review this one as 7.5. I liked
Yep.
it.
Mhm,
Actually, I'm just going to go straight 7.
mhm. That's fair.
Just easier. Straight 7 because it's a good movie. The acting, the main characters acting, like the ones that you follow throughout the whole movie,
Yeah,
they're really good. But then there
right.
are
They
other
act.
characters that
Yeah,
they talk to that are extremely bad. The
yeah,
cops don't act like actual police officers
yeah.
and stuff, so it just doesn't seem very. The acting just isn't very good at times. And then it's weird because they try to make you like Bruce Campbell's character, and I was like, is he actually a good guy? Because I
Hmm.
think he should kind of die.
Mm.
But it makes you question that, or it
Yeah,
made me question that. So 7, you got an
that's fair.
8.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a little warm place in my heart for slasher movies or just any type of horror movie.
yeah,
So,
I like slashers too. It's just Maniac Cop seems more action movie esque. I kept comparing it to
mm.
RoboCop for some reason because it's also a cop
Yeah, no,
movie
that
that
was
came
going
out.
through my head the whole time.
Plus, he gets they both end up being mutilated.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you want to get into recommendations?
Yep.
We're gonna watch Maniac Cop 2
Two.
and then
Yep.
discuss that next week on Sunday or whenever we can get the podcast out.
Mm.
And then we're gonna go on to 3, and I think three's the last one. We'll find out. I'll check and see if three's the last one.
Mm.
But do you have any recommendations for this week?
Um, would be the what's the one with the the shoot the tower. I'm trying to think of what it's called. The lighthouse. The lighthouse. That
Lighthouse
psychological horror movie.
with
Hmm.
Robert Pattinson and
Hmm.
mm,
Yeah. I think I will keep on suggesting that until after we're done with what's it
yeah,
called Maniac Cop.
yeah. I'm just gonna say, be expecting some horror movies to come out because Ty's not gonna be here, and we're gonna wait for anime stuff till Ty gets back. But
Gotcha. Fair.
or we'll just do like franchises and stuff. We'll just
Yeah.
try to do some stuff that Ty would not enjoy
Right.
while we can. But let's go ahead, or let me do my recommendations. I've been watching a lot of My Hero Academia, and I think you should
Oh.
really watch it. It's like Harry Potter for superheroes. That's the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. It's like Harry
It
Potter
is
for
so
superheroes,
good.
and it's really fun.
Oh
The
yeah.
characters are
That's great.
memorable. All Might is
Yeah.
amazing. He's a really cool.
Fucking
He's like the
awesome.
Dumbledore. He's straight up
Yeah.
like Dumbledore. If
Mhm.
Dumbledore was like hip and cool.
Yeah. Oh no, All Might is great. My
Yeah,
my favorite characters in that movie, or not movie, but they do have movies, but in that show, and that show are in that show are probably Izuku Midoriya, Tenya Ida, and then no, I'm not talking about Maniac Cop and All Might.
All Might.
I
I think
yeah,
mine would
I
be All Might. All Might's not my first one. Izuku Midoriya is the best character, I think, for me.
right,
He's
yeah,
just the most relatable character.
mm,
And then All Might. And I think, who is it? I really like Atsui. Froppy.
oh really?
I
Yeah,
really
probably
like
pretty
Froppy.
funny.
Froppy's pretty. She's
Yeah,
smart at times, but then she's like, why is she here? She's basically a ripoff of Toad from the X-Men,
yeah, pretty much.
but yeah, except she's a little more of a frog. She can she can throw up her guts and stuff. It's a weird
Yeah,
it's a weird power to have, but
yeah,
I think My Hero Academia is really fun.
yeah. No, it's really nice.
So and then we're gonna watch Maniac Cop 2 next week. So make sure
Yep.
to watch the
You
movies
mentioned
and tell us
that.
what you think of them down in the comments below. So
Give us your ratings.
yeah, tell us how you feel, whether you hate it, whether you like it, or whether you're just in the middle.
You thought it was okay, right?
Yeah, tell us why you hate it or why you like it, because that's always interesting. But I think we're gonna end it here. This is a really short podcast, so
Yep.
hopefully, maybe if you like the longer ones, maybe you like the shorter ones. Tell us also down below, because we like to know your thoughts and feelings on what we do, so that we can make it a better experience for you. So I think we're gonna end it there. Can't say bye, Ty, but we'll say, uh, is there a maniac cop line? Or
Uh,
he gets stabbed in the.
yeah.
I think we should just grit our teeth and go.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye, bye.